I want to start with a question that came from a young person who basically asked, how do I tell my parents that I'm depressed and need help? They don't seem to believe that counseling and medication matter. And I kind of felt this one a little bit in my heart, because I think that I struggled with this a lot in high school as well. Very similar, parents were very like, well, just read your Bible. And I was like, but I need to talk to someone, I need some help. And yeah, Krista, what would you say kind of as advice to this young person really wanting to have that conversation with their parents?
Sure. I would say first, just trying to connect with them on an emotional level, just kind of sharing, where you're at, trying to get that understanding and that empathy from them. I think it's important too, just to, let them know that their opinion is important to you. Also, I think too, it can be helpful. We have many articles about depression and anxiety on the blog. Maybe it's something that you could share with them. Hey, listen, this is what I'm reading about this. I feel like this applies to me. I would really like to be able to talk to someone about this. I think that if we can approach something, in a safe way where we're sharing how we feel, that can be really helpful in trying to get them on board with you.
For sure. What would you maybe say to like a parent who might be watching this, who has kind of spent their life believing that, medication and counseling are maybe not helpful? What would you say to them? What would you say to this young person's parents?
Yeah, so I would definitely share with them just how God has designed us, and He's designed our bodies, and that emotions are important. And sometimes as a society, like, we don't have the information related to emotion. And a lot of times that can be what leads to depression and anxiety. So I think I would just share that information with them, just letting them know that, from a Christian perspective, like, I see myself as, a tool that the Lord is using in people's lives. And that is definitely something that is engaged in the therapeutic process, and that we all need people. God created us for connection, and we need other people sometimes to kind of help to pour into our lives and help us out if we're feeling like something is difficult or hard, or just that kind of information.
Yeah. So say that this young person wanted to schedule counseling with you. What would that look like? What would what could they expect? What could the young person expect, their parents maybe expect from counseling?
Yeah. So the first thing would be creating a safe place for this person to share, and then just kind of learning about what's going on with that person, maybe what they're feeling, a chance to kind of slow down and really check in with yourself, and maybe understand, what the root of the problem is. And then maybe there's a need to develop some skills on how to handle emotion in a healthy way, how to manage it and feel it, but feel it the right way.
So good. Yeah. I remember going to my first counseling session at like, I think 18 maybe, after years of really wanting to do that, and it just being so life-giving, and just a safe place to really just like put it all out there with this, really a stranger that really created like a safe place for me.
And honestly, like, I don't know of anybody who would not have benefited from counseling at some point in their life. I really just think that if you really want to live life to the fullest, and you really want to be high functioning, and you really want to have a good understanding of yourself, everyone at some point needs to engage counseling.
Oh yeah, no, that's so important, because I think that we do get it into our heads that like we have to have like a mental illness or something traumatic or grief or something that has happened in our lives in order to like have to have counseling. But like in reality, all experience trauma. We've all experienced really hard stuff that affects the way that we think and the way that we view ourselves and the world. And it's just so important to see a counselor, no matter what you're in. I even think of when I was in college and how many people were going to counseling just because of the school stress.
Yeah. I feel like college is definitely a time where, that it's always helpful to engage. You're going through so many changes in college and you have so much ahead of you. Sure, that makes sense.
Oh, totally. And you're just like growing up, realizing maybe my family wasn't as perfect as I thought it was. Maybe like I don't want to do this with my life that I was told I should do. And like it is a lot. And I mean, you could say that for so many different seasons of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so good. And so if you're watching this, whether you are the young person that asked this question, we want to pour into you here at My Counselor Online. So if that's something that you'd like to do, you can definitely schedule a counseling session with Krista or one of the other clinicians on our team. Everyone is here for you and definitely wants to pour into you in that way.